Hey folks, you're tuned into Chaotic TV. We are continuing our NumericableCup coverage from about a month ago. But in the top left of Ohana in Game 3 of this best of 5, we have the Pink Zerg playing for Team Evil Genius Raid Call. He is Stephano, the Frenchman.
And his opponent spawning across from him, the Red Protoss player. This is SK Gaming's MC.
With a very powerful +2 blink attack. In that last game, he got the blink, he got all the stalkers he needed, but he really didn't have a heavy stalker composition. It was mostly zealots, as he noted that
game
there were plenty of zerglings and not enough roaches to really warrant all of the stalkers that would have used that blink more effectively, but the zealots did all the damage that they could, and they did quite a bit of damage in and of themselves in that last game.
Yeah, that game was basically a builder loss for Stephano. Like you said, yeah, he did the +2 attack, blink stalker, 2 base timing attack, which is super strong. But when he got there, he realized there was no roaches, and the blink just became null and void. It just became a +2 timing attack on 2 bases, and still it was much too much for Stephano's Zergling-only defense. His investors came out just a little too late with getting his 3 bases ready before going to lair. It's just that's where the builder loss comes into play here.
That is the definition of a timing attack. It's a kind of a vague term in the StarCraft 2 glossary, a timing attack. In this case, it meant that NC, let me put on those nameplates, used a timing that specifically defeated Stephano's build before the infestors got out in mass. If he had gone 2 base infestor, he might have had a few infestors, and he still might not have been able to hold it because he didn't have the economy comparable to MC. Right now, Stephano has playing a little bit safer than he did versus Damaga in going spawning pool first as opposed to hatch first like he did last game.
Yeah, you have to be on a pretty big map to hatch first against Protoss, otherwise they can get a Pylon block down on your natural, and you're not going to be able to kill a Pylon with just drones, so you're going to have the spawning pool ready to have some Zerglings out to kill the Pylon if one does get placed down.
MC not going for the block at this point, but Stephano looks like he might be going for a probe pickoff and a 3rd base early again to see if he can actually pull it off this game.
Yeah, the fast 3rd base, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's the standard response to a Forge Expand from a Protoss player. It's just the only way that Zerg started to deal with it, because this Forge Expand became such a strong type build, and it just put the Protoss player on even bases with the Zerg, and Zergs just can't deal with that.
And it looks like MC doesn't know that there is a 3rd base down right now. He might have suspected it from all the Ling aggression, but he doesn't know for exactly sure. That's not a correct phrasing, but we'll go with it anyway. Absolute.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Absolute sure. Yeah.
I'll share with you.
He has no absolute surety that the 3rd base is down.
And there you go, making efforts.
But oh man, there's something going on in this game, either with my mouth or with just the game in and of itself. This bronchitis is absolutely killing me.
We can see. I'd like to see on this map, in the main of the Protoss player, just to the north of where his nexus is, there's a lot of room that Zergs can drop like a Nidus Canal into, or a Nidus Worm, I guess. That kind of play can be really strong, getting units behind the cannoned forge wall.
I think I've only seen Stephano go for a Nidus play once. I saw Rhett do it in a couple of Heart of the Swarm games, which was it was even without Swarm hosts, but it was very powerful. And Stephano, his 3rd is about to pop out. He's going to do a little bit of a drone transfer because he's oversaturated, at least at his natural. But now he has gases 2 and 3 popping out. He's probably going to drop down 3 and 4, maybe even a 5th one, but he probably won't go for a 6th just yet unless he has some real Hydra Infestor play in mind. He also doesn't have the production or the economy to pull that off right now, so he's not going to put him down until he has absolute need of that gas.
Yeah, it's a little bit telling that he's going to stick to a ground army here. You want all the guys you can possibly muster if you're thinking of going like Mutalisk, or even fast hive into some earlier Broodlords. But like I said, this just stepping your way up in tech, it's a lot safer. He's just dropping these evolution chambers at the same time as his extra gases. You'll probably see a Roach Warren come down. Yeah, there's a Roach Warren building, I guess. And he's going to get his mid-game army out before thinking of transitioning further out.
I think he is going for the same composition he had in that game 1, which was the Roach Infestor Hydra. Infestors were at the very tail end of that. He did mostly a direct damage, but we do see he had 5 gateways coming out for MC, so he's going to go into the same kind of setup he had in the first game, so we might see a different kind of play, different positions, different kind of map than Cloud Kingdom, but the openings and the tech pathing is basically the same. The Roach, or excuse me, the ground weapons and the Immortal coming out for MC at 8 minutes and 15 seconds, which is exactly what he did in that game 1.
7-gate Robo on 2 bases. You can defend a 2-base all-in with it, and then expand behind it. If you see 8 gates, that's going to be a 2-base all-in. But either way, you see a Warp Prism coming out. This could be some either warp and harass, or he can go and drop sentries and warp in. That blocks off bases. And even we started to see some speed Warp Prism with 2 Immortals in it, just to pick off structures really quickly too.
From what we saw here, we see Hero do all the time is he puts down the forward pylon and then uses the Warp Prism to micro his Immortals so that they don't get targeted as easily as the Zerg would want them to do. So is he actually doing the Immortal Sentry push, but a little bit different composition than we've seen? Normally there's a couple more Stalkers in this setup, but in MC's version there are mostly, oh, there's the Stalkers right now. And it might just be an Immortal.
The sentry count is a little bit low, but he's still got a strong enough army here to deal with what is on the map for Stephano right now. Stephano needs to get unsupply capped and get some more units out.
Well, it looks like Stephano is deciding to use the map to his advantage and starts flanking MC. MC has got some great force fields going down, continuing to put them down, but he only has about 5 left on his sentry count. These Roaches in the back doing some damage to the actual shields and hit points of one of the Immortals. But he does pull back for
just too strong for the Roach only.
Yes, he has 18 more coming in though, and we'll have to see exactly what happens to MC's army. He's warping in a number of more sentries, just that he has more force fields to put down against all of these Roaches, and those 3 Immortals now can do some serious damage.
Stephano had a really good flank there with his Roaches, just as Roach speed finished, so that was really good for him, but MC's force fields were just too strong behind it. And is he counterattacking? This going to be a base trade? What?
It looks like it will be a base trade. Spinecrawler's going up on the 2nd. He's going to sack this 3rd completely. The drones have already been pulled, and the Stephano, against the wall-off up here of MC, he's going to move forward as quickly as he can and start taking out those...
those 2 sentries are going to help immensely here.
Yeah, he's got to wait the 15 in-game seconds for those force fields to get gone, but these Immortals are already picking off all of the Spinecrawlers on this high ground, and the choke right here is actually working a little bit against Stephano. The supply counts are about even. The army supply is dead even, especially with these Roaches getting killed in Stephano's natural base. He did break through that wall of MCs, knocking out a number of pylons and killing off the
Roaches.
And the Roaches, if they can see it in MC's base, can knock out this 1 pylon powering these 6 gateways. But I think they're just on auto attack right now. MC moving into Stephano's main base.
I swear. The one advantage that Stephano has here is he escaped with his drones, and he's currently killing off all the probes. So that helps a lot in a base race. 1 probe is going to try to get away, and there it dies.
All of the drones actually going towards MC's base, and MC will see this, but the main base for Stephano is pretty dead. The money count for both players is near $1,000 for MC, 800 for Stephano. That's enough to build 2 hatcheries, and he has 1 dropping in the bottom left right now. And MC doesn't know that it's there, but he probably suspects that Stephano is doing some kind of attack, or hatchery expand behind them.
Yeah, and MC's chance here is to get back and kill off the entire army of Stephano and kind of reset the, I don't know. He might just be too slow. This base race might go in favor of the Zerg right here and now.
Yeah, he is taking out all the production facilities. There's a little bit of money as MC right now. He could build a nexus somewhere, but he may not have the money to continue.
He doesn't have the probes. He has no probes.
He has no probes.
So these buildings are what he has, and I like using these drones for extra DPS in these buildings.
That's actually probably pretty tactical.
And yeah, it's actually what actually is going to win him the game here. With the Warp Prism, he didn't have any forward pylons, and there's the end of the game.
Without a GG?
It just ended because he ran out of buildings.
Oh. But that was Game 3, giving Stephano a lead of 2-1 in this series. From Chaotic TV, I am KO.
And this is Eclipse. Let's go to Game 4.
Alrighty. Cheers.